When electric car owners aren't charging up at home, they typically spend about $20 charging up here. We just went into a local drugstore and bought these pads for about $12. With the pink tax, it would have been nearly $1 more. I can actually see Tiger Stadium here right in front of me. Now this is the same apartment complex where a man was found shot dead last night. After 16 hours of deliberation, a jury has found District Attorney Jason Williams not guilty of tax fraud. We have been seeing this rain come down all morning as we continue to get flash flood warnings. As you can see right here, this car got stuck earlier today. While the Bond Commission is withholding money from the Sewerage and Water Board, we're told that it won't affect the daily operations. Technology is growing and options to get from point A to point B are starting to expand. Not to the point of flying cars just yet, but electric cars have taken the wheel.
I love it.
Between the quietness,
that's it. The car started.
the speed,
I compare it to a ride at Disney, the rock and roll roller coaster, how it accelerates like that and your head will hit the back. It will do that.
and the price to charge up, electric car sales have seen a global increase of 60% in 2022.
It's way more economic than any other gas car would be.
When electric car owners aren't charging up at home, they typically spend about $20 charging up here, compared to others who still pay at the pump, where a 12-gallon tank of gas is about $40.
It adds up. And eventually it kind of pays for itself.
In Louisiana, about 260,000 people work in the oil and gas industry, producing about 365 million barrels of crude oil. But by 2030, President Joe Biden has a plan that 50% of car sales will be electric vehicles, reducing the demand of crude oil by 34%.
I don't think it's realistic. I think there's always going to be a need for a gasoline vehicle.
But Carl Spears, CEO of Upstream Petroleum Oil, doesn't believe that electric cars will be hurting the industry at all.
It's going to actually complement it.
In fact, the less you pay at the pump could be devastating for workers.
When the gas prices go down and they get real low, we lose jobs.
That's because the demand for oil and gas isn't as high, so companies do not need as many employees.
I have confidence in the oil and gas industry that it will survive any and everything.
Although the crude oil demand may decrease, the U.S. will need to produce 50% more electricity to keep up. For Tiger TV, I'm Haylee Kennedy. Parades, music, and drinks.
That's the culture of Mardi Gras.
A time where we quite literally leave it all on the streets. For some, that might mean their dance moves, but for others, that means their trash.
It now produces about 2.6 million pounds of street waste in just 11 days of carnival season.
You heard that right. Just last year, this street party left about 1,500 tons of trash. On average, a single person accumulates just 1 ton of trash a year. While many people think that beads are the main cause of pollution during Mardi Gras season, so are aluminum cans.
There are thousands of people across this whole parade route enjoying beverages in aluminum beverage cans.
And despite what you might think, the green in Mardi Gras colors does not represent how green the state is. In fact, Louisiana aluminum can recycle rate is only 11%, while nationally the rate is 45%.
I think if we don't make it easy, people are going to throw it on the ground.
Where it gets washed away into the Mississippi River, draining into the Gulf of Mexico. So instead, multiple sustainability groups have partnered forming the Recycle Dat program, with the hopes that with one simple action, these cans can have another life.
But it's got to start with that person making that choice.
And with that one choice, people can reduce about 62% of waste. For Tiger TV, I'm Haylee Kennedy. The green wave has made its splash into New Orleans. A group of pro-choice advocates rallied outside a civil court Friday morning, wearing green, symbolizing the abortion rights movement across the world.
We're going to be on the streets in the millions if we have to.
Just inside the doors of civil court, the decision for the next steps of the Louisiana abortion law laid in a judge's hands, as a restraining order that temporarily lifted the ban of abortion in Louisiana became expired.
Being pro-choice does not mean you are pro-abortion. It just means that you realize it's not your decision to make for everybody else.
However, Judge Ethel Sims Julian ruled that this lawsuit needed to be moved to East Baton Rouge Parish, which gave up any jurisdiction that would allow her to extend the temporary restraining order.
Abortion clinics that are operating in the state of Louisiana as of today are operating illegally. based upon the laws and the Constitution of Louisiana.
Attorney General Jeff Landry says that lawmakers have been venue shopping for this case. But after today's hearing, the abortion trigger laws that were previously established are to be enforced.
A law is always presumed to be constitutional until a court rules otherwise.
Now this means that the 3 abortion clinics in Louisiana have been shut down. And if an abortion procedure takes place in the state, it is at the doctor's own risk.
If you don't like the laws of the states, you can move to one under which you like. That's the greatness about America.
But this legal battle is not finished yet.
Make no mistake about it, this is the beginning of this battle, not the end of it.
As this case makes its way to East Baton Rouge, clinics will remain closed until a new judge decides otherwise. Haylee Kennedy, Eyewitness News.